Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. We are just finishing up some light impact news, and we do have high impact news coming in the next 15 minutes. I have not traded yet this morning. I'm still kind of trying to see what this data lag is going to do. So although it's not messed up like it was yesterday, it's still high because without this indicator on, it's usually at 0.01 to 0.05. So there's still some kind of lag, but it's just not bad like it was yesterday. Good morning, Amelia. How are you this morning? So I did go back to, I didn't have the indicator on my chart when NinjaTrader loaded. So I loaded the blank template, and then after it loaded, then I just went ahead and turned everything on that I needed to be on. So that helped with the loading time. Excuse me. But like I said, the data lag is still technically high compared to what it is when it's not on my chart. But whatevs, we're here. Well, yeah. Okay. So, there are some things that I know for sure I'm going to have to change with using these statistics, these delta statistics, but I didn't have time last night to really go through everything. So for now, I'm gonna work with what I got, but I know that it's going to change. I only decided, interesting. I wonder what changed. No. Oh, that's so annoying. I was trying to take it off. Oh, okay, it was only one. At least it was only one. But yeah, I was trying to take it off. That's the only thing I don't like about using it this way. How can I fix that? Let me see something. Maybe if I do... Then it pushes right after stopping me out. I think I'm gonna have to do that. Look at that. It stopped out to go where I wanted it to go. Maybe I have to keep the minimum and maximum delta on. It's about the only way I can make sure I don't get caught like that. It's gonna be a big learning experience. Literally all day long from open to Asia open. Oh, that's too much. That's way too much. First of all, that's probably why he had to build accounts anyway. He's trading way too long. Way too long. Mm-mm. Like, legit, the longer you sit there, the more you're going to trade. 816. Yeah, it never turned. But yeah, that's trading way too long. Mm-mm. Way, way, way too long. Stuff like trying to I mean, I get it because honestly, lives don't really grow your channel like that. Short form content does. So I get it. You know, you're trying to get more likes and stuff on your live so that you're pushed through the feed more and stuff like that. I get it, but that's not worth my sanity, number one. And number two, like, I would say what good is that if you're losing accounts because you're trading too long, but for some people, building up the affiliate side of it is more important because the affiliate side can build a lot quicker. But I don't know. I just don't think I could do that. He's gonna do daily videos. Daily videos are cool too. I don't know how much they can build your channel, but it's better than doing what he was doing before. That is for sure. For sure. Mm. Good morning, don't save her. How are you this morning? Good morning, good morning. But yeah, so going back to what I was saying before earlier, I'm gonna have to switch this. I just literally did not have the time or the patience last night. Um, I can make it work this way, but the problem with making it work this way, which basically, the problem with doing it this way is I'm gonna miss a lot of trades, and I don't really want to do that. So, basically, right now, I'm basing what I want the delta and delta percentage to be based off of like how much volumes in my entry bar compared to the highest volume bar in the swing. It's gonna have to be based off of the highest delta instead. Which I mean obviously makes sense because going against comparing if I'm gonna be trading with momentum, comparing what I'm doing to the highest delta makes the most sense anyway. But I didn't really have time to try to convert it over though, so I'm just gonna have to do it this way for right now, and we'll just have to fix that tonight, hopefully. Hopefully. But it's looking like I'm gonna have to keep the minimum and maximum delta on my footprint chart because that's gonna be the only way for me to know when the delta is getting close to the max. because like this trade, the trade that I took back here that lost, I actually didn't want to be in that only because the delta was close to the max, which I mean, it actually was the max. I actually wanted it to be this this color in the table to be pink. I didn't want it to be red. Yeah. I'm good too. I'm a little tired. I actually did not realize I turned my alarm off this morning. I snoozed my way to turning it off and did not realize, so I actually woke up a little late. But aside from that, I'm good though. I am. I think you might have just been bored. Oh, 5 Pro Plus accounts. I assume. Yeah. Yeah, if you we'll discuss this in DMs. What I heard on a stream yesterday. So I was like, what? All right. 2.9. I do have to stop in a minute for news. I'm just gonna have. Oh my God. Why, bro? Oh, that actually was what I wanted though. Okay, I just tried to turn that off. Mistakes. Mistake. I'm so glad I'm on an eval. I literally just tried to turn it off. Look, I'm still. What is going on? All right, whatever. Um, I don't even care. Get all the mistakes out now. You snooze, you lose. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I was just telling one of my friends yesterday, I legit have no idea why my insomnia is as bad as it is right now. I have no idea, and it is driving me insane. Like normally, when my insomnia is really bad, it's because like I'm dealing with anxiety really bad. Sometimes, as weird as it sounds, when I'm super depressed, I can't sleep. Um, or like if I'm dealing with panic attacks a lot and stuff like that, but I have not been dealing with any of that. So I have no idea why the hell my insomnia is as bad as it is. Like it's bad. So I only got an hour and a half of sleep 2 nights ago. So yesterday when I was done streaming, I journaled till about 11. And then I went to my sister's house to put up her blackout curtains. I was exhausted. So I came home and I was like so tired. I actually wanted to walk on the treadmill, shower, and then go in the bed, but I was so exhausted. I took my shoes off right at the couch and just went to sleep for like an hour and a half. And from that hour and a half, I was up until 4 o'clock this morning, probably 4:30. I just don't understand. Good morning, T Money. Good morning, Janelle. How are you guys this morning? I wish I knew more Black female traders. Yeah, there's not a lot. So besides me just wanting to use streaming as my way of holding myself accountable to stick with trying to not quit while learning order flow and volume and how to scalp and stuff like that. It also was because like representation is important, you know. There are not, first of all, there's not very many Black creators in the trading space when you compare to other ethnicities and races. But the ones who are here are typically futures traders. There are not very many Black creators in the future space, Black women in the future space, and most of them do not stream. There was one girl who would stream here and there that I used to watch. She was an ICT trader, so I really was just watching just to support her. Um, but I don't think she's put out content for like well over a year now. I don't. So, yeah, unfortunately, there's not very many. You found enough. There's a girl who popped up in my news feed. No, I don't think she's. I think there was two. I think one creates more short form content. The other one does stream, but it looks like they built their following in the Forex space and they're just over here in futures because, you can't trade Forex anymore. Like I know somebody who had to do the whole residency thing so that they can trade with MetaTrader again. But yeah, I'm kind of mad because I know what I need to do to fix this, but I don't know if I have the time. I am like, I don't know. I don't know if I have the time, but I'm going to try to fix this. I know exactly what I need to do. Question is, am I going to have the time to do it? We'll see. I don't know. But hopefully tomorrow moving forward, I'll be able to be back on the right trajectory. We'll see though. 308. We will see. But yeah, I can't do it this way. Official lens. I think is she like the Hispanic girl? She made like some videos about her payouts with Top Step. Is that her? You know what? I'm about to did I save that as a template yesterday? Yeah, see, these worked yesterday, but they wouldn't work today. Let me see something. She's black. I don't have much. Oh yeah, I remember seeing her pop up. I do. I definitely remember her popping up. I think that is what I remember was that she came from Forex. She has a course, she doesn't push the course very much. Um I'm gonna take a couple of trades on this. Oh wait, I have to do this first so that it keeps showing. And I think I deleted that thing. Actually, uh, actually I'm not. There was something. What was it? Actually, I don't think I ever looked at any of her content. I think when I just glanced over it, I saw that she came from Forex and then I just left it at that. I forget which one of her videos popped up in my newsfeed. It wasn't a live stream. I forgot what it was, honestly. I don't remember. My memory's bad. I forget the name of the girl I'm thinking of, the Hispanic girl. At least she, maybe not Hispanic, maybe she's Puerto Rican. Right, that wasn't a big enough percentage. But yeah, once I hopefully, so I don't know if, well, I'm gonna have to take time to do this today so that I can have a fighting chance tomorrow and the rest of the week. But I only have like $400 of drawdown left in this account. So I am going to trade the other Tradeify account when this one blows. I keep forgetting. My memory's so bad this morning. I did make a decision. I am going to get another TPT account too. And then that's going to be it for me. I just want two. Well, I don't want two, but I'll have at least two at Apex, two at Tradeify, and two at TPT. That's enough for me for now until I figure this out. Every now and then, but not regularly. Honestly, the only people that I watch regularly are Nutty and Alpine. That's it. It's not what I want. All right, there's a win, which is crazy because the first trade I didn't even want to be in, so I should be break even right now. But yeah, basically I can already see that the way I'm doing this right now is it's not gonna work. I gotta look at Delta overall, but I do believe that I was on the right track with the way I was I was determining the strength pre-entry before, but I think adding the bar internals is going to help because I have to know how strong the move is. That's super important. So we'll see. We'll see. That's a good number. Yeah, uh obviously since I watch streams, you know, it's not enough hours in the day to be able to watch everybody. So normally, like while I'm journaling, if Nutty's live, I'll watch him. If he's not, I'll watch Alpine. And then I'll usually end up watching the rest of both of their videos by the end of the night. Because you know, if I'm studying or something like that, I'll have it playing in the background or something. But let me see, 26. See. I feel like Delta still is not right either. I don't know. Mm, I'm not sure. There's another, where is it? I don't really like that statistic though, because it kind of depends on what the overall delta is, really. Yeah, I don't like that stat. Do paper trading accounts have a loan before you started using real capital? Um, I paper traded for a very long time. Now since I've been on YouTube and trying to master scalping, no. But that's mainly because like when I first started trading with prop firm accounts, I wasn't going to scalp. I was just gonna intraday swing trade like I was doing before I had stopped trading for a while. Um, but then I realized like number one, I did not want to sit here all day to intraday swing trade. Number two, I didn't have the time to because at the time I was running a credit repair business. Well, not by the time I got on YouTube. I had just closed it down. Um, but yeah, I've had live accounts. I've paper traded. I've done all of that before. Yeah. But for me, I kind of knew that I was probably not going to trade a live account again for a while. Um, Mainly just because, I mean, the power of leverage with prop firms, but I'm not going to be one of those people who just, when I, get prop firm payouts, just blowing through the money or anything like that, or only saving it. Like, the whole goal is to use prop firm money to fund a live account or fund my live account and also trade that alongside, which you guys will see when I do that. Um, but yeah, I've been trading off and on for 10 years, so I definitely have paper traded before. The only thing I have not done was paper trade while trying to develop a scalping strategy, but that's mainly because um, prop firm accounts are so cheap. But I also don't spend a whole bunch of money on prop firms on a monthly basis either. I never really have. I never spent more than like $150 a month, if that. Probably actually more like $130 a month was like what I was spending. And that was just because at one time I had 4 accounts going because, in the beginning you're blowing through the accounts too quickly. So that was just to make sure that I had a fresh new account every Monday. Um, but yeah, I'm not one of those people who spend a bunch of money on prop firms. I will never, ever in life be one of those people who spend a bunch of money on prop firms. That defeats the whole purpose for me personally. I understand why other people do it, but some of the numbers that are out there, regardless of how much money people are making, is just outrageous for me. Oh, you asked how many? How many paper trading accounts have I blown before I started using real capital? Maybe one. And that's just because, like, okay, I never went into paper trading like trying to go for huge lot size because I think I started in futures, but then transitioned to Forex shortly after. I've done binary options, so um, but I've always been a person like in the learning phase, I just use the minimum lot size or contract size possible. So I never was the person who just blew through a whole bunch of shit first, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, I just was never that person. Like if I didn't have any type of trading experience at all, when I came onto YouTube and was starting to trade, I would have just been using one little micro on one account and trying to figure it out. But I also believe in trading the way you know you're going to trade once you figure it out. So, because I do have experience I know how to intraday swing trade. I'm just trying to figure out how to translate that over into scalping the way I want to scalp. Just one contract. I'm risking $100 per trade. You know what I mean? So it's not like I have some huge risk management issues and things like that. I've never been that person. When I traded a live account, I never risked more than like 2% at a time. And I would usually be going for a 1 to 2 at all times. Sometimes I would only risk 1%. Now, I don't think that it makes sense to do that in prop firm accounts personally. Although you do need to have good risk management practices, I don't think that you should be risking 1%, 2%, what's standard in the industry. Um, because kind of what's the point? You might as well just trade a personal account then. But um but yeah, I still think that risk management is important. Like but people have the thought process of like, I don't really care about being a good trader. I just want to make money. And that's fine. I mean, they're just using prop firms for what they are. But I also think that sometimes those are the same people who have issues when prop firms make all of these changes. And a lot of times prop firms are making the changes that they make because of so many people having that particular attitude of, I don't really give a shit if I know how to trade or not. I only care about the money that I make, period. That's it. And it's a form of gaming the system because, you know, people complain about prop firms that don't have a clear path to live. And I say this all the time. How can you have a clear path to live when the majority of people don't give a shit about knowing how to trade? Like, I don't really understand what people want from the prop firms. How can you properly evaluate someone for live if, yeah, they've made $100,000, but they have 300 PAs? Well, nobody can answer me, and how can you take that person live? But then there'll be the same people that are upset because a prop firm bans them because they've reached the max capacity of what a prop firm wants to pay them out through sim. So you're mad because you can't keep sim farming, but you also had no desire to become a better trader. You get what I'm saying? Like if people as a whole, now you're always going to have those few people who just are the outliers. But if people as a whole treated the prop firm industry the way it was intended to be, the way most of us did when we first learned about well, some of us, I have known about prop firms for years. Like at least probably 7 years, probably longer, a little longer than that. Most of us, when we first started learning about prop firms, it was like, cool, this is a way where I can, trade somebody else's money and use somebody else's money to fund fund my live account. I'm trading the same way I would a live account, or a personal account. I just might be increasing my risk a little bit, but I'm not just sitting here trying to blow and go all the time. If 90% of people treated prop firms that way, we wouldn't have some of the rule changes and complicated rules and all of these other things. Like, for instance, one of the reasons why so many companies have this micro scalping rule is not because they copy trade people, okay? Despite what some prop firms try to tell people, most of these people are not copy trading anybody with anything. All right, let's start there. It's because you have so many people who, good example, when FTT was out, because FTT did not have commissions, they did not have micro scalping rules, you had people who not only were doing this, but were promoting it. We're promoting for people like, hey, they don't have commissions. They don't have micro scalping rules. What the fuck are you trading for real for? Just literally go get you a couple contracts per trade. Go for one tick at a time. You do that with one contract or two contracts a couple times a day. Like, let's say take 3 or 4 trades. The likelihood of you not getting one tick is so slim that just go for one tick a couple times a day. You can milk the fuck out of it. Now, why would somebody teach somebody that? But guess what people were doing? Exactly that. Exactly that. Try doing that in a personal account. See how much. Listen, and the thing is though, most people will flat out tell you that they are only profitable because they are in prop firm accounts. And it's like some sort of weird flex. I don't know. Um, like, yeah, it's some kind of weird flex. And I've even heard I just yesterday heard on a stream a person almost like taunting people who want to be good traders. Like, okay, well, you go over there and be a good trader, but I'm going to be over here laughing all the way to the bank, kind of thing. And it was like, that's just such a weird flex. I don't know. I don't know. But that's those people's prerogatives, I guess. It's just not for me. It's just not for me, and it's not ever gonna be for me. Copy trade if you need a write-off, basically. But yeah, yeah, that's all I got for that. Because it just, I understand it. I understand it from a standpoint of you're treating this like an overall business of this is how much money I've spent on props this year. This is how much money I got out. As long as I am green, who cares? And that's a lot of people's thought process, and I get it. But I also think that you are foolish if that is your thought process. And then when they ban some of the things that you do, you're upset about it. And not only are you upset about it, you also begin to struggle because they've banned what you're doing. That was a neutral bar. I would have gotten into that, but the point of control is neutral. So yeah, some stuff is just a little awkward to me, personally. Is it almost time to be done? Yeah. Um, But yeah, Amelia, when I heard that, I forgot to write you last night. I was gonna give you the timestamp and everything. Like, what the hell? Why would somebody say this? But to each their own. I keep my eyes on my own paper. I just don't like when platforms are being used in ways that encourage people to have bad behaviors and bad habits that they aren't going to be able to sustain the way that you do because they don't have affiliate income, you know? Like, it's easy to have a certain thought process when whether you make money trading or not this month, you make so much money from affiliate commissions, it doesn't matter. So I just, yeah. It's kind of like with FSP, for instance, right? The way he promotes his way of cycling accounts is, what is the word that I want to use? Irresponsible. I think that's a great word. It's irresponsible because everybody can't do that, you know? I start watching 99% of the streamers. Exactly. Yeah, and the thing is, like, hey, do what you do. But I've always maintained that no matter how big my channel ever grows or any of that, I'm just not. First of all, it doesn't fit with my personality. I'm a naturally frugal person. And not just that, I'm like all about statistics, numbers, wasting money, you know? So there's just certain things that no matter what, it's just not going to happen on my channel. It's just not. I don't care how much expendable income I have to be able to just casually spend on accounts. It's just not going to happen. And that's just also something that I want to promote on my channel, you know, over time of it. You don't have to waste a bunch of money to get where you're trying to go. Because legitimately, so I've been on YouTube trying to master scalping for the last 19 months. Legit, all I need is 2 payouts to cut at probably not that much. We're going to say 2 full payouts to be able to pay myself back for that entire time that I've been learning. So my tuition does not cost me much. You know what I mean? And that's a flex for me personally. Because learning and going through all of that, like, yeah, you got to put in the time. You're going to either spend time, money, or both trying to get where you're trying to go. But you also don't have to spend you might have to spend a bunch of time, but you should not have to spend a bunch of money, whether you have it or not. Damn it. Yeah, I think if I switch this, yeah, I think if I switch this, like, all right, there was 100 delta in this bar. The highest delta coming down was 69. So I beat that delta out. It would have came like a couple ticks from stopping me out, but it went. But the delta was close to the max delta number one, and then the delta percentage was higher than 25%. So that was a good quick in and out scalp off of the VWAP. I think if I do that, he doesn't care about trading if you ask me, but I also don't watch him. I think besides this whole account cycling thing and promoting basic, I wouldn't say he's promoting gambling because he does have a clear strategy. But the account cycling thing he promotes is a form of promoting like gambling and all of that when it comes to prop firms or whatever. Um, but I told you like my biggest pet peeve is like people who speak when they're trading. If people speak in a way of like, yeah, because all right, so let's say I'm looking at the charts right now. You know, I'm looking to buy at 234 because you know they based on what the charts look like they want it to come down to 234, but if they don't come down to 234, you know, boom boom bam, we're gonna be back up to 260. And like I just, first of all, who the fuck is they? Who is they? Why do you know what they want to do? And if you knew what they wanted to do, you wouldn't have to cycle through accounts. You get what I'm saying? Like obviously, if you have a strategy, whether it's super mechanical, it's based on intuition, whatever, you know, it's based off of what you, the patterns that you see in the market, the way that you see them. And that's fine. But talking about what the market's gonna do because they want this and shut up, that irritates me. That irritates me. People using like certain trading terms in the absolutely wrong the nerve of me, the absolutely wrong way. I wanted to say incorrect and wrong at the same time. But yeah, like using certain terminology completely incorrectly. Like I hate when people say risk to reward backwards. They say 3 to 1 and really they mean 1 to 3. That bothers me. Um, Using certain verbiage like oh, I want to see a trap of the sellers right here, blah blah blah. But you don't trade with anything that even shows you that the market is even attempting to trap anybody. That kind of irritates me sometimes, too, because like maybe it's because I'm an order flow trader. Like, for instance, if I wanted to get into a buy right there at the close of that bar going up, and I said, you know, hey, I'm getting into a buy, I'm trying to see if we could trap the sellers here. Guess what? It makes sense. Look at the point of the control. The point of control is pink or red, pink, which means that the sellers were legit in control at 228. At that price level, sellers were in control. So yes, I would be trying to see if we can get into, we could trap the sellers there. Yeah, but a lot of people use certain terminology and they have no way of even knowing that that terminology is being used properly. That's what I said. How do you know if it doesn't go to 34, it's going back up? Exactly. Like, what are you even talking about, bro? And again, like, if people were using order flow level 2 data, even then, you still don't know anything, but at least you have some kind of internal something that could tell you that that is a possibility based on the orders that are currently in the market or something. But just to like flat out say that is just weird and I don't like it. Oh, Well, I hope you feel better, Applejacks. Tell those people to stop stressing my friend out. Yeah, NQ has been fine. I honestly, I kind of knew coming into today that um I'm off a little bit in how I'm measuring things pre-entry. So I knew I wasn't going to get very many trades. Like I said, the way of doing it this way, I wasn't going to get enough trades. Excuse me. Which was fine. I knew that coming into it. But yeah, I still feel like, so even if I switch things a little bit and try to look at the highest delta and coming into it, I still feel like that's wrong. And the reason why I still feel like that's wrong is because, like, okay, hear me out. This is my thought process. Let's say let's say I'm looking at my entry bar and I mainly want to look to see, like, what is the delta of the entry bar compared to the highest delta coming up? So the highest delta here is 34. Boom. Okay. So I'm looking for a volume and delta pattern to try to beat out the most aggressive level, which in this entire swing is here. That's fine. It doesn't always have to be delta that beats it out. Sometimes you're more so looking for absorption. Like this here, this would have been more of an absorption move because not only was the delta here lower than this 34 delta, but also if you look at the delta percentage, the numbers are very small, but that's why I have it color coded. The delta percentage is less than 25%. So it's not a very strong move, and really that's just because this was more of an absorption move rather than like a strong momentum move. So the move happened, which this is a, let's see, how far down did it go? That was a 140 tick move based on absorption. Fine. My only problem with that is, what about the delta? All of this was like, all of this cumulatively built up to get to this point. But the problem is, like, using cumulative delta on Renkos doesn't really do very much. So that's what I'm having an issue with, because at the end of the day, there's no problem with trading divergence, whether it's trend or counter trend. Like if we look at the time-based chart, right? This divergence on a Renko chart was just this pullback here on a time-based chart. On a 1-minute chart, this is legit a perfect pullback. 2-bar pullback to continue down, right? Now I don't use a time-based chart to determine if what I'm looking at is, you know, a pullback, diverge. I don't do that, but I always know that that's pretty much what it is. But the issue I'm having is, how do I know how do I know when all of the delta leading up to this matters or not? That's my biggest issue right now. And I don't know what order flow statistic I need to look at to see that. Because I'm pretty sure if I throw actually, I'm pretty sure we have it in. Obviously, there's a cumulative delta indicator as well. But if I throw the cumulative delta on this footprint chart, let's see. Yeah, see, that wouldn't help me to determine anything, any absorption levels or anything, because if I look at the cumulative delta at the close of this bar, or let's just say the bar before it, and then I look at the one up here on that wouldn't form any type of delta divergence at all. So yeah, I don't know. I'm getting so close. I know what I'm looking for. I just don't know what I need to put on my chart to see it, if that makes sense. This woman sent me oh goodness. Lady, if you can hear me, please leave Applejacks alone. Leave her alone. But yeah, once I figure out how to see what I'm trying to see, then everything will be wonderful. But until I can figure out how to see what I want to see, Houston's gonna have a motherfucking problem. Gonna have a problem. I've even wondered, like, you know, this indicator comes with delta signals. You can see the delta signals in the footprint chart. Wondering if I can use that mixed with some of the bar internals or something. Now that I have not looked at. That's a possibility though. Like these two reversal bars here had the same signals. This one just had a flip as well. F is a delta flip. I forget what some of I know D means delta divergence. I don't remember what the W means. Let's see. That means a delta sweep, which according to them, delta sweep is when a big trader enters the market to push the market forward. So if that's the case, that would make sense why both of these bars are green in the footprint chart, both of these bars are red in the footprint chart, because if a big order comes in to sweep the market, then it should be an aggressive move, which an aggressive move is both of them green, both of them red. So that is also something that I could possibly look at. There's just so many different options with this indicator, and I really want to be able to take advantage of it. I don't got the time. I don't. I really don't. I do, but I don't. But anyway, all right, let me show you guys this account because I'm going to go journal and then I'm going to go prepare to game because Apex comes out, not Apex Trader Funding, but Apex Legends has a new season coming out today. So I need to go start working on that. But yeah, I have $483 left on this account. And it renews on, I think like maybe next Thursday or something like that. So yeah, it's gonna blow before then, I'm quite sure. But that's what we have the other Tradeify account for, so I'm not really worried about it. It kind of is what it is. But that's it for me, you guys. Hopefully tomorrow, hopefully today, I can fix what I'm trying to fix so that I could take more trades starting tomorrow, kind of get back to it, because I was able to take way more trades the way I was doing it before. But I really think that knowing the strength of the move, not just based on volume or order flow, but also based on the delta percentages, is important. And I just didn't have that before. I feel like that could possibly be the missing piece if I stick to doing it the way I was doing it before, but we'll see. But I'll let you guys know tomorrow. But I thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 8:45 Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.